Hello, and thank you for joining us in Girlbye, the podcast where we bring the gay, queer conversations to the so-called norm. Today, I want to introduce a young queen, a girl that's out here trying to take over the world, someone whose energy and enthusiasm just fills up a room. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling great. I love that intro. Thank you. We stand. I love that. Yeah. Me and my 8 jobs. We gotta love it. Hell yes.
We love a working girl. It
That's
is
true.
part of living the dream. It really is.
Cheers to that.
So, welcome to Girl Bye. And today I want to touch on a couple of things in your past, a couple of things in your future, Kiki about some things going on currently in the world. So, start off with introducing yourself a little bit to everybody listening and watching. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, anything you want to share.
Sweet. Well, hi y'all. My name's Alex. I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina. But here's my entire life story. I was born and adopted in San Francisco, grew up in the Chicago suburbs, went to school in Savannah, Georgia at SCAD B. Lived for 2 years up in Milwaukee. My mom now lives in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And I now live here. Yeah, that's my life. I've been here for 2 years. I love Charlotte. It's amazing.
Before
Yeah.
we keep going, do you know Trixie Mattel then?
I do. I have seen her in Milwaukee. I don't know her, but I do. I have seen her in Milwaukee. Love Trixie.
Trixie, send us Trixie Cosmetics.
Girl, please. I was seeing, okay, so Lux, Nor London, who I also stan. Love you, Lux. If you're watching this, hi, I love you. Here's a ring. Marry me. Thank you. But she was getting
Proposal.
she was getting ready on a let's get ready, not on her Instagram live. She was just getting ready. She was just getting into makeup because her foot's broken, so she's not doing any gigs. She just wanted to get his face, and so she was having this really, really, really cute under white eyeliner. Then somebody in the chat asked where she got it. It was Trixie Cosmetics, and she also was putting on this beautiful eye, and they're all Trixie Cosmetics. I'm just like, girl, I love that. Cream base, love that.
Yes, Trixie Cosmetics are really great cosmetics. This is not a plug because we are not sponsored, but we could be sponsored. Dot dot dot.
I love just seeing Trixie Mattel on my TV screen.
Listen,
I love her.
I
Disclaimer, Manny and I are friends. I might read him. I might be mean to him, but it's because I love him. And this bitch will probably be mean to me too. We don't need these Twitter gays going out here calling out bullying. Bitch, we're friends. It's chill. It's a key, and it's being shady as fuck. So yeah.
that we're bullying each other. A comment is a comment. If you want to complain about how we talk to each other, y'all could add all the comments you want. Bad publicity is publicity. That's what the Kardashians do.
Bitch, I'm just saying this because I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but with this season of Drag Race and Twitter, the gays are uppity.
Listen, Girlbye is not even on Twitter. We are not going on Twitter.
Well, get on Twitter.
No.
It's great for Drag Race and porn.
Yeah,
sorry, Mom, that's probably listening to this. I'm so sorry, Mom.
Now she knows why you use Twitter. I love how nobody calls it X.
Fuck that bullshit. I'm sorry. It's like people are not going to be calling the Sears Tower the Tower. Fuck no, it's the Sears Tower. Twitter is Twitter. Sorry, yeah, girl, bye.
Twitter will always be Twitter.
Girl, bye.
Period.
Or it's a mistress.
Wait, did you, on a side note, and then we'll get back into some of the questions, but did you see Mistress and Kennedy, Mistress painting Kennedy as Trixie Mattel?
That part. I also saw the clip of Kennedy doing the winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, I love it.
It's that hilarious. Iconic. It was.
Wait a second. 3, 2. That was funny as hell, right? Girl, I was clipping that in. Okay, just erase all that. Literally, just erase all that. Anyways, yeah, no, that was really funny clip. That was. Sorry.
I'm gonna put all of that in. That was
No.
iconic.
Girl, don't. You know me. I ramble.
I know,
I
it's gonna be great.
ramble.
So, keeping us going along in this and really kind of diving in a little bit. So, as we know, we're Drag Race fans. So, let us know, when did you become a Drag Race fan? And was that when you actually knew you were gay, or were you gay before Drag Race?
I was definitely gay before Drag Race.
Is it because of your age?
I mean, so young, so just, oh, yeah, just, not all of us can be, bitch, we're not even that different of ages. What are you saying because of your age?
Well, because we're older than Drag Race.
Oh, shit. That part.
We're older than
Yeah,
Drag
no,
Race.
I would say, okay, so I didn't get into Drag Race because I didn't have, like, oh, maybe it was high school that I got into Drag Race, I think. I could not tell you what season it was. I could not tell you any. I think that it was like high school that I got into it.
And so that was what, 2015?
15 to 19 was when I was, no, 15 to 19 was when I graduated from college. No, 15 was when I graduated from high school. Yeah, so probably like that range. Girl, it was 4, 5, and 6. I watched back to back. It was like not when it was airing. No, 5 and 6 would have been then airing afterwards because season 4 was 10. No, maybe so. It was back to back. I don't fucking know. All
It could have been back to back
on my screen and being like, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
I like drag.
Yeah. What is your most favorite season of Drag Race so far?
Oh, 4, 5, and 6. Those are my classics.
I
4,
did
5, and
say
6.
one.
If I had to choose.
Yeah.
If I had to choose. Fuck. I'm between 6 and 4. Love 5. But 6 and 4. So probably like my ranking of those 3 and my favorites would probably be like 4, 6, 5? Probably.
Good choice.
Yeah. Because I do love 5, but like
Yeah.
just 4, I just love the fact that like looking back on it now, like it was before it got really fashion-y, if that makes sense. So you
Yeah.
saw like,
It was before girls were catching in 401ks to get on the show.
Girl, that too. It also was before people were like going on the show for like saving fortune. It was just like, we're just gonna go on and have fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. Because go back to Party City where you belong.
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Yeah, my favorite season of Drag Race is season 4. I have the most unpopular opinion that I actually love Fifi O'Hara. She was right about half the shit she said. I mean,
fair enough. She did. She said what she said.
You cannot say that her drag wasn't good.
Oh, her drag was great. Also, her drag now, but Jeremy now.
That cosplay,
he doesn't go by Kiki anymore. So
yeah,
Jeremy is fucking iconic because he does cosplay. He now is actually a gamer, and I'm just like, love you, love gamer, come through.
Yeah. On a side note, I do own one of Fifi O'Hara's old looks that I may or may not have purchased at DragCon.
Okay, gotcha. Come through.
Like,
do you listen to his music?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I listen to his music. I have his photos from when he was modeling. I'm a fan.
You had his picture above your bed so you could look at it at certain times.
Listen, that was the only picture at DragCon that I bought the really big, long one, and I had him sign it. And on that note, so you moved to Charlotte. You kind of lived in a lot of places. So tell us about your work life in that. What was it like as far as, do you tell people that you're gay at work, or is that something that you're not sharing?
Okay, so I first started working. I had been working for my entire life. Literally, I was volunteering at the library when I was literally in middle school. Because I'm a fucking nerd. That's what I am. Literally check the drag name Anita Read More, because bitch, I like reading and I was a librarian.
Insert video of Anita Reid Moore tripping.
Please don't. Let's not do that right now. No ganj, not all that ganj. But like it's growing. That side of things is growing. But like so I started working when I was 14 because it's legally I was allowed to start getting paid for work at 14. So I started working at the library, Lake Forest Library. And yeah, so I was a librarian for 4 years during high school. Um, Went off to college. My freshman year, I did not work until the literally like spring break and winter break, because like SCAD has like the quarter system. So we had like 6 weeks off for winter break, then like 2 weeks or 3 weeks off for spring break. So during that time, I was working at the Humane Society on Hilton Head. And then when I came back for this my sophomore year, I became an RA as well as a student ambassador, as well as on a board for a student club. I don't know if there's a common trend here, but I work a lot. Just saying. So I was working, as an RA, as an ambassador. Through that job, I had this really great RD, residence director, Carrie Van Reeth, now Carrie Starowski. She's married. Carrie, I love you. Kayonce, I love you. If you're listening to this, I love you, Carrie. But like she really taught me about work-life balance because sophomore year Alex was overworked and stressed the fuck out. To the point where literally like Carrie was just like, okay, so this is how you say no. It's okay to say no. So I did quit doing ambassador my junior year, but I was still an RA. And I was also president of a club during that time frame, during my junior year. And then senior year, I just was an RA. I quit the club and then graduated in March. And then right when I was shit, I'm missing something. Between my junior and senior year, I was actually interned at Kohl's corporate, paid gig up in Milwaukee, working all that jazz. At the end of that, I actually was offered a job offer there for after I graduated from college, and so I went back to school, right back to where we were. I went back senior year, was still an RA, but then I graduated in March. And then I didn't start work up in Milwaukee until like July. So a bitch had to work. So I ended up working at the Humane Society to, save up money to be able to, move across country because that's not cheap. I ended up, after I graduated, because I ended up working in March, I ended up working at the Humane Society for until I moved up to Milwaukee for Kohl's. And then during Panorama, I ended up moving back home, still working remotely. So I moved back in with my mom. And then I moved up here 2 years ago, which is crazy to me. Then when I was here, are y'all still, does anyone need like a nice like spreadsheet about all this? Because
Yeah, I'm completely
yeah.
lost. I don't even know what year we're in anymore.
We're back to 2 years ago, so whatever that was, 20.
2 years ago, 2022.
22. Fuck, time has no meaning. So like when I moved here, okay, so back to present day-ish. When I moved up here, I was still working for Kohl's corporate. Worked for them for 4.5 years. Great. I was remote and I was working up here because Panorama was, I'm not going to say it's over because COVID will always be a thing, just like the flu. But like, it was like we could now interact with people. It was safe to do so.
Right.
And so I moved up here, and then I think it was like a month or two after living. I think it was actually like less than a month. I met Vanna Vanity, my drag mom, one of my, like, I would consider us one of my best friends, as well as one of my employers. So I met her at a club, and she asked if I wanted to come to brunch. So I did. I went to brunch. Loved it. It was amazing. And Then she invited me to another brunch, and so she said, "Oh yeah, we're doing this. Great, come." I said, I think I wanted like a lip sync off or something, so I got a free ticket. And so at there, I got there early, and I saw that they were rushing around getting stuff ready. So I literally asked her, I was just like, "Dad, do you need help?" And so that's when I was given the tip bucket. And if anyone who knows me knows that I'm the tip boy, my proud tip boy for Vanity House. It's one of my favorite jobs. And so she gave me a bucket, and my job was just to collect the tips for the queens. And I've had that job since then. It's now evolved from tip boy to now assistant. And it's been great. I love it. I work with Vanna. I also work with her husband, the whole Vanity House, and I love it. I get to meet great queens. I get to make friends. I have a lot of friends based off of it. I'm always so thankful to her for giving me that opportunity because, like, I love it. And then after that, so continuing on this whole train of thought, and this is a very long train of thought. Well, I said I've been literally working since I was fucking 14. I haven't stopped since. And so I now run social media for them as well. So that goes into what I do today for all my jobs. So everyone count with me now. I am social media manager for Vanity House. I am assistant to Vanity House. They're two separate things. The assistant to Vanity House. I work my 9 to 5. I also dog sit and I cat sit. And then I also do drag. That's one of the things I'm starting off at. I work part-time at Madewell Jeans. And I also go dance on the side, which is fun. 8 jobs.
So at all of these jobs, obviously some of them you are clearly outwardly gay at work. But, your general 9 to 5 and, like working in the general public, I know none of us walk into work with like a sign like, "Hey, I'm gay." I mean, if you meet Alex in person, you might know. But
They not exactly straight acting. I'm not exactly mask for mask.
that's true. But do you like talk about it at work? Is that something that's like you're off the table? Like, how do you kind of handle those things?
So at Kohl's, I was out. I was in office for the beginning of it. I was out during my internship. I didn't give a fuck about who knew. I don't care. I was like, okay, cool. Hi, gay. I was also on. It even got to the point where I literally was like on like the Pride BRG or ERG Business Resource Group. I was on there. I was talking about culture. I talked about product. My job actually evolved to me actually being the diversity and inclusion artist at Kohl's. I was working on a lot of things there through diversity and inclusion, such as Hispanic Heritage, Black History Month, Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, Pride, obviously Pride. So I've been heavily involved with diversity and inclusion. Unfortunately, back in October, I was let go from the company. My position was eliminated. I was doing a lot of stuff at Kohl's, and after Kohl's, more recently, I have sort of stepped back in a way. I realized I was doing 30 billion different things in my workplace, and a lot of it was tied to my identity, which is fine. Like, I don't mind. It was great. It got me seen. But at my new job, it's a bit different. I love it. It's fun. It's great. I'm not as involved because I'm fairly new to it. I'm not involved in like any of like the side things. I do like my job and I love my job. It's really great. And I love my team. They're really great as well. But for this job, I definitely have much more of a work-life balance for it. That I definitely put a line in it that like, listen, if you ask me, I'll be like, sure, yeah, I do this, but like, I don't think it's needed. I mean, also one of my managers, like she and I work together at Kohl's, so she already knows. She doesn't give a shit. As long as I do my job, I do my job. But like, it's a very different working environment, if that makes sense.
I think it's really interesting when we kind of dive into just work life. where a lot of people that I talk to in my age demographic, a little bit older than me, and then the people younger than me, we're all a lot more comfortable being ourselves at work. I think that that has changed. Do I think people still have like bad opinions about us? Yes. Do I think that
1,000%.
us being our authentic selves at work deny us promotions and stuff? Yes. But I do think that, ultimately we do feel a little bit more comfortable to just be ourselves. I know it's really kind of changing in the workplace. I think a lot of places of work realize that they can't really outwardly be mean anymore.
Not more.
Maybe because we can all go sue them, but I think it's very different.
Yeah. I think also one of the things for me right now for this new job is that by like at Kohl's, I had meetings every single day, even though I was remote, I was still like meeting with people and stuff, and people knew me because I was there for 4.5 years. Like people knew me, knew my life. For this one,
Yeah.
I have like 2 meetings with my team during the week, and the rest I'm just working. So I still communicate through like, Teams and emails and getting like to-do lists and everything like that. But I'm very much like, I get my work done. I
Yeah,
don't,
it's more
I'm
work
not
focused.
Kikiing. Yeah, I don't like Kiki with like my friends. Like I did
Yeah.
at Kohl's. I still have my really close friends from Kohl's that I like, literally like 2 of them I'm gonna game with later this week. Like we're gonna like literally just do a Discord call and play video games. It's a game
That's
that I suck
hilarious.
at. It'll be great to Kiki with them. Um,
Not you're gonna lose anyway.
well, it's like this mining game, and like it's like fun, but like I like doing it with people. It's like not something I'm practicing. Like I love me some open world like single player games. Like get me
Yeah,
like I love Fallout. Fallout's amazing. Assassin's Creed, love all those.
I love
Really
Assassin's
getting into Dead
Creed.
Island 2. Dead Island 2 is amazing. It's on Xbox Game Pass. I fucking love it.
So, along the lines of losing games because you're not good at them, let's talk about your dating life.
Uh, well, let's talk about my dating life. Let's talk about it.
What is your go-to dating resource?
So for me, I've deleted all the apps. I'm like right now, literally, I've deleted all the apps. I'm done with men. I'm done with relationships. I'm good. I can take care of myself. It's all good. Um,
Period.
before I was like, I did all the apps. I did Grinder, Scruff, all that jazz. And like people have mentioned it before on here, on your podcast, but like dating is like rough. And also like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like I feel like at the time of my life, I am more focused on me, my career, my 30 billion and a half jobs, and honestly, taking care of myself and also spending time with my friends. I'd much rather focus on me. I got out of a relationship like last year, literally a year ago. It was Pride last year. With this guy. Um, and he was really sweet. I will say this, my ex. He was very sweet. Sweetest boyfriend I've ever had, most romantic boyfriend I've ever had. But I was at a different level in my life than he was. He wanted something much more serious than what I was wanting. And yeah, so we broke up. I've sort of been like, okay, I'm good for the next year. Period.
I mean, I think it's really interesting for me as I continuously talk about different conversations with people in the dating realm. I think a lot of people don't realize that if you want sex in the gay community, that is very
Oh,
easy to find. It's like
it is
ordering.
easier than ordering a fucking Domino's.
Yeah, you could get sex before you could get Domino's to deliver on time.
True.
But but ultimately, I think a lot of the time, most of us are not really looking for like a meaningless hookup, and like we want somebody that are gonna be our ride or dies, the people that are gonna like pump you up in the crazy moments of your life. And something that I've learned over the years was that I relied on my friends a lot more for that type of stuff than relationships.
Mhm.
Oddly enough, I think when you're not looking for a relationship and you're not really diving into that, you bump into somebody that might change your mind. I think, when you get somebody that's really ready to like be with you in the real low parts, that's like where it becomes hard because a lot of people don't want to support other people in those very dark places. And I think a lot of us, although if you go to therapy and stuff and you deal with your trauma, I think there's still a lot of stuff that other person has to deal with you. Like that's part of the relationship and growing and you figuring out certain things. Um, what type of person or situation do you think would make you kind of give somebody that opportunity?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just said honestly. That was rhetorical. No, I'm
Like,
gonna lie
yeah.
to you right here, Manny. I'm gonna
Honestly,
lie
yeah.
to you. Honestly, like, I don't know. I definitely think that I would need to have like a friendship first. Because like, I don't know. I think that like I don't know. All my past relationships have been with total strangers. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you meet, you start dating, the wham bam. So I think probably if I wanted to start dating again, it would probably be like growing off of maybe a pre-established friendship, but then also it opens up the like Pandora's box of if you start dating friends, if y'all break up, then the friend group breaks up, and then it gets messy. So yeah, we've all been in those situations where we have friends that were dating and then they broke up, and then bam, it's World War III.
I've never had that situation.
Well, lucky you.
So I've always, this is a great topic to really dive in a little bit on is, I'm the person that I have my friend group and I've had my friend group for a really long time. Um, I, I never intermingled, like my friends
Mm.
always got to meet my significant other and they can build relationships, but like my friends also are the type of friends that like if I broke up with them, they were like, bye.
Ah, bitch. No, having the separation I think is very important, but also I would love to have a conversation with you about having separate friend groups. Because I think that having separation of friend groups is equally as important. Of having your friend groups that are separated in different atmospheres. I don't know if I
Right.
actually want that on this podcast. Let's go back to the things. I feel like a lot of people will feel red.
Oh, that's actually really true. I think a lot of the difference that a lot of people don't realize though is that you have to have your separate places to go to handle certain situations in your life. Like for me, me and you know my boyfriend take trips separate. We do things separate. I go see my friends separately. Sometimes we do stuff as a group. Sometimes we may go to parties together. You've met him a bunch of times. I bring him to a bunch of places. But there's
I
also
know you
times,
together. That's how I know y'all.
yeah.
I feel like I'm one of the few friends I know y'all as like a group.
Yeah, but not many people do. Like, not many people met us as a group, right? So when some people do meet us as a group, it's a little different because then it's kind of like survival of the fittest.
We went through a mutual friend through
Correct.
viewing party that then turned into meeting each other in person.
Right.
A very unique situation, but how we met.
Right. But like those people that are in the group that introduced me to you, I met them by myself. Actually, I brought one of my straight friends to another party that's like one of my really close friends to a party to a gay prom with me, which is where I met them. So it's kind
It's
of
from
funny
the
because like, that was the most ironic way to meet new people and make friends. But I think ultimately when you have like that separation, if you and your significant other are just like not in a good spot, you have to have somewhere to like go and like be able to talk and you don't want to
vent
like
space.
yeah, you got to have somewhere to leave the space and communicate and be able to like take a breather. And I think when you mix friends, that does become very problematic because also you don't want to like mix friends. And then if you're fighting,
You don't want them to be taking sides, and also you don't want them to be talking about you to each other.
You know what I'm saying?
Background conversations that are happening.
That's messy.
Messy.
Yeah. I did, however, date somebody that had no friends. Thanks to
That
everybody
part.
listening to the podcast. Do not date somebody that has no friends. It's a
They need to have their
sign.
own friends.
It's a sign if they have no friends.
I agree. I also dated somebody that had no friends, back in Milwaukee, actually. And like,
He was a serial killer.
his name was not Jeffrey. Not Jeffrey Dahmer. I agree with you. Don't date somebody with no friends. Because
Yeah.
I once dated somebody back in Milwaukee. That relationship ended horribly. Who had no friends, but also was not open to seeing my friends. He was a complete loner. There was just like that whole thing about how there's separation, and then there's like, you don't have any friends and you're a loner, goddamn. And because one thing is like, you just like playing video games, or like you like being alone. Being an introvert is totally okay. But also, there's also that aspect where we're in a relationship. I would like for you to meet people that are important to me, make an effort. And I would like to meet people that are important to you. But also, you know what? There's also couples out here that like, they're in their lonesome and they don't see anybody either. So
one thing I've come to the realization of was that personally for me, I'm way too extroverted to be with an introvert. Like I
You're
can be with
extroverted?
somebody.
No
I can be with somebody that's like semi-introverted, maybe somebody that's a little bit shy, but they come out of their shell when they're a little bit more comfortable. Those types of things, yes. But like a loner, we're just never gonna mesh because like where you want to be home, like watching movies, no shade, but if you hear this, you know who you are. If you want to be at home watching movies, while I want to be like hanging out at the club or getting to know people or being out and making friends or hanging out with my friends, then that's where that's going to lead. And what happens, which happens a lot and a lot of people don't realize, is that if you then are in a monogamous relationship and you spend this much time apart from each other, there's a lot of time for people to get in between.
That part. That's a whole other can of worms. That part.
And I'm just going to say that I installed cameras and I learned everything I needed to know. But you know what? We live, we learn, we grow, we develop. You know what I mean? It's really a different situation. Like when you start realizing some of these like smaller pieces, because you start really, like for me, my biggest thing was like the moment I felt the need to look through somebody's phone, I knew I shouldn't be there anymore.
Bitch, bye.
It's time for me to go.
No.
You know what I mean?
Go bye.
Time for me to go. Because you know what? I'm not looking through your phone.
No.
Because if I feel like I have to look through your phone, that tells me enough.
That part. I think also with that as well is that like, so we have like the different areas. We all have heard of introverts. We've all heard of like extroverts. And there's ambiverts. So I consider myself an ambivert. I'm an extrovert and ambivert. Oh, girl, I need my downtime. I need to be away from people to recharge my fucking social battery. Even if y'all are my best friends, I need to be at home for like 3 days playing video games. Girl, straight up. Because like I need to, this is surprising to you. Because you've always seen me extroverted. But bitch, sometimes I'm just like, I need to like not. I need my alone time. That's why I like love having guests over. But like, I love my mom. She's one of my best friends. I call her literally twice a day. But back when I was living in my studio, she could even tell you. She's like, you were being a fucking brat. Like, you were being awful. And I was like, I'm sorry. I just need my own space. Sorry. But like, I just need that alone time. And I love all my friends. But sometimes you just need to be like, in the words of Dayla, I'm going home. Because sometimes you just need to like be away from people. Like, yeah, all of y'all can see me right now. I'm pretty extroverted. I'm very much psycho. But like sometimes I just need my alone time. But also I feel like a partner needs to understand. People need to understand that sometimes people just need to recharge. And that's okay. But please, at least make an effort to be social. not even be social, but be like, hey, listen, can you? My friends and I are going out to dinner. Will you come with me? That's like
Yeah.
you could just sure, yeah, no problem. I would love to meet your friend. Also
Mhm.
coming for somebody who's been single for like a year, so maybe don't take my advice, but whatever. Take it or leave it.
No, but I also think that when you're like when you're the partner to the one that wants to go hang out with their friends and they're inviting you to go, more than likely other people in that group are bringing their significant others. Because if it's like if like me and my close friends are hanging out and nobody's bringing their spouses, I'm going by myself.
Oh, 1000%.
We're about to talk total shit about everybody. But if
The
they're
group
gonna
chat's
bring
gonna be
their
wild.
spouses, if they're bringing their spouses, I'm probably gonna bring mine, right? So like you have a group of people that you can talk to that's not like the group of people. So like you don't have to talk as much because a lot of those people are there against their will too.
Not or. I
No,
will
not
say
against their will. I'm just kidding. But
for legal purposes, that's kidding. But no, like for example, like there's also that aspect of where, girl, I don't even. He's blocked me on everything. I can talk shit about him. I don't give a fuck. So subscribe to my OnlyFans. Just kidding. I don't have one. Just Venmo me $100 and you'll see something. It's my toe, the bad one. It's the one with the fucked up nail. Hot, I know, right? Sexy. Hmm. Fuck, you might
I'm gonna
actually
leave
have
that.
to feet actually. So send me 200.
And you'll get the foot,
Mm.
the good foot.
Slewfoot.
Slew foot.
Miss Safira, he's gonna take home the crown.
Miss
Um,
Tafira, if you want to be on the podcast, let us know.
Story time. Going back to what I was saying before. Um, uh, this friend, this boy, this boyfriend of mine. Him and I were supposed to go to one of my best friends' like not birthdays, Valentine's Day parties on Valentine's Day. And before that, we were supposed to get dinner. Neither of us did a reservation. That was both on me and him, but we both were busy. I mean, I was busy at my corporate job. He was busy cutting cheese at Whole Foods.
So wait,
Yeah.
he was eating cheese at Whole Foods and
And I'm
couldn't
working my corporate career.
energy.
Yeah, I think back on it, it's like he definitely thought I was a sugar daddy, but bitch, I was just starting off my corporate career. And even now I can't even afford to spend money on myself, let alone somebody else. So like, girl, I ain't even splendid daddy. But anyways, what I did have planned was for us to go to one of my best friends' Valentine's Day parties because it was planned for weeks, and I had told them weeks ago that that's what we were doing. And this motherfucker during fucking dinner at a sports bar was like, "Oh, I'm too tired," and I was like, "Girl, stop, girl, stop. Drink a Red Bull, pop an Addy. I don't fucking care, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck."
Do you know my pet peeve to I'm all of a sudden too tired to do something? That is my biggest pet peeve because I bet you that if
Oh,
we at the house right now and I tell you, oh, let's have sex, you're not too tired for that. Or if you want to go do something you want to do, you're not too tired for that.
that was a whole nother thing as well. I know he was not too tired because I found out later that he was doing something with somebody else.
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Anyways, we were open, but the rules were not defined. I've learned from that. Anyways, so I go out to my Valentine's Day party alone because this motherfucker is too tired. Also,
Yeah.
he asked to sleep over at my apartment because it was closer, and I said no. On the phone, mind you, I called him and broke up with him. I should have broken up a long time ago.
Rewinding just a little bit, because I know that earlier you talked about you were adopted, then like all of this history of moving around the world or America.
America.
Yeah, let me change that because it's not around the world. But
I wish.
but what is it like, your relationship with your family? What was it like coming out? Did you have a come out moment? So rewinding just a little bit, going back to kind of your family growing up, what was it like being gay? Did you come out to like a big story or, was it kind of simple? What was that like?
Gotcha. So my family consists of me, my older brother, and my mom. My older brother also adopted, completely different family. And my father, unfortunately, passed away when I was 2. And so it's always been my mom, my brother, and me. So I came out, I say like freshman year of high school or like sophomore year of high school. I don't fucking remember.
Somewhere around there.
I was a flaming homo even before that. Let's be real here. But the coming out process was that I came out to my group of friends through a group chat saying, this is so embarrassing. Hey, I'm like Kurt from Glee.
I cannot.
So fucking embarrassing.
I
So embarrassing.
cannot.
Like, it's the hype of Glee. Everyone loved Glee, so I was like, I literally sent a picture of like the GSA poster, and I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm like Kurt from Glee. Or like, would you still love me if I said I was from like? Would you still love me if I said I was from? No, it was. I literally said I'm not even. I love you. It was literally like I'm like Kurt from Glee. I hate my life. That was my coming out to my friends. I would bully me in high school. Goddamn, no wonder I got fucking bullied. Cause goddamn. Anyways, the right to me coming out to my mom. I came out to my mom with my best friend Allie at my side to force me to come out to her. Because even though my mom is the most accepting woman in the world, I literally, my brother has literally like 2 gay godparents. Like, the gay's always been around. It's always been okay. But I think that even as queer people, I don't know, this could just be my story, but like, even if you have a really accepting mom or parent, you're just afraid shit's gonna change. And you don't want it to change.
Yeah.
I was like fucking terrified. Not that I was gonna be like thrown out of the house, God forbid, but like it was much more of that lines of being like, okay, so this is crossing over into a new territory.
Right.
Am I comfortable with this? Yes, I guess. Am I worried? Yes. I don't know. All the emotions and shit. So I had Allie come over with me after school. You thought that the Glee part was embarrassing. This is even more embarrassing. My mom was in the living room watching TV, and I walked. Or no, I think she was watching. I think she was doing something else in the living room. I think she was doing bills or something. So I literally walked past with Allie, and I look at her. I look at mom and be like, "Hey, mom. By the way, I'm gay. Allie, let's go watch Les Mis." I literally like sprinted with Allie to go watch Les Mis. And my mom was like, what? Alex, what? And I was like, I'm gay. Bye. So yeah, that's what
Wild way to do that.
I think that I don't remember exactly what happened. I think that Allie literally was just like, well, I did that. Allie, if you're listening to this, text me about what you actually remember what you said, because I don't remember anything. But like we just literally sat and watched Les Mis, and afterwards my mom and I had the conversation. She's like, so you're gay? I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, literally.
She already knew.
Yeah, I had my suspicions. Yeah, but she's like, it's all good. It's all okay. You have Uncle Lee and Uncle Anthony. They're gay. Like, yeah, it's everything. So like, it's all Gucci. So I didn't tell my brother because during that time frame, he was in his teenage years, and he kept on calling, saying faggot. I'll say this. It was what, 2000, the 2010s? Faggot was getting thrown around like no other. Older brother in high school. At the time, I was like, really like, no, never going to tell him. Looking back, and I realized, you know what? He was going through some shit. He was just reacting and just being an older brother. Like, I don't hold it against him. Also, Christopher, if you're listening to this, Venmo me $20 for saying good things about you. Love you. But also, hi. But yeah, he was going through some shit. Family was going through some shit. Anyways, didn't come out to him.
Yeah.
And this was around October, Halloween time frame when I came out to like friends, my mom. Then it wasn't until New Year's that at New Year's Eve party, a friend of mine was drunk. And this wasn't like a raucous, like, oh, high school party. No, this was like a family friends party. There was mimosas. I come from a British household. This was a British family. The alcohol was not locked up. I personally didn't drink until college. That sounds fake, but it's true. It's literally 1000% true. Looking back on it, I'm like, you should have loosened up a little bit, but whatever. Anyways, one of my friends was drunk and told my brother that I was gay. And so afterwards, I just like a New Year's Eve party and this was like later on the next day or like when we got home or something. My mom told me, she's like, oh, by the way, like Christopher had asked me like if you're gay, because like so and so, I'm not gonna say names, but like so and so told him, by the way. And I immediately like, ran up to my room, closed the door, whole drama queen moment. Honestly, looking back, and I was like, girl, you're too much. You're too
We were
much.
trying out
Girl,
for
I'm
Broad.
fine. You're too much. And so my brother literally comes up, knocks on the door. He's like, hey, I'm fine with you being gay. I've known for years. You're fine. And I was literally just there being like, oh, what was me? Girl, if I could punch my younger self, I would. God damn. Whole other thing. But like, girl, me in high school.
It's
Anyway.
definitely high school was definitely a rough time frame in the early 2010s. I think because I graduated in 2012, and one of my biggest pet peeves was when everybody used to call everything gay. That used to piss me off. I was like, this is so stupid. How is that gay? This makes zero sense. Like,
Exactly.
y'all are making up random ass terminology that just doesn't make sense.
Well, and then, because for me, right when you were graduating, that was when I was getting into high school. Because mine was, I think, 2012 to 2015. And during that time frame, it was also that, like, it was still going on that everything was gay and faggot was thrown away, like, around left to right. But then there was also, like, with Tumblr and, like, the social justice aspects in there, that it was sort of like oh, don't say that. He's not gay. He has friends that are girls. And it was sort of like one of those things where it's like, thank you for being supportive, but also you're going at it the wrong way. Because people were trying to adjust to being like that allyship, but not knowing what to do. And then there was like all things. High school was wild. I could never go back. Also, looking back on high school these days, girl, I'm happy I went to high school when I was. Because yes, we had trauma with that, but bitch, we didn't have to deal with school shootings.
Listen, let's not dive into school shootings.
I said what I said.
The girls are not ready to hear about that because that's wild.
That and online bullying. At least people were calling me faggot that I couldn't get changed in the locker room in person, so I could go out in the hallway and cry about it. But like, girl, these days people will just dox you for the hell of it. And they also won't dox you for your sexuality because people that are bullying you are queer and they're bullying other people that are queer, and they're just gonna call you out and call you so many out of pocket things make you want to like shoot yourself.
Yeah, the internet is an interesting
and a curse. The blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot, but I also like these newer generations that are now on the internet. They're gonna eat me up in the comments here, but I really don't care. They handle internet so poorly. It is wild.
Awful.
They will attack people so quickly that I'm like, y'all are attacking these girls. They're making TV. These drag queens are making TV. Like, y'all are watching, talking a lot of shit. That's what they wanted. So I'm glad you did what they wanted to do.
That, or they'll jump on and being like, oh, well, so-and-so wasn't giving, or, oh, so-and-so's makeup is horrible. And it's like, girl, let's see you do drag. Go do drag. Come on. Oh, her makeup's so horrible. Never has picked up a fucking paintbrush, like a paintbrush, a crayon, literally anything to do with art, let alone makeup. You can't even draw a circle. Why are you coming for these girls doing their entire makeup? Because that's hard to fucking do. I've been learning that doing makeup is hard as fuck.
It is. And you guys are commenting on these people that are literally putting their lives on TV. Like, these people are taking the ultimate risk.
Literally. Their lives could be ruined.
Because look at the girls that have been canceled.
Girl, also, I will say this as well, of this young, that I would say, I know you said like older Gen Z, but like, when you say that, you mean 2000s babies, correct? Can we just put that 2000s babies? I'm
even thinking of like maybe more like 2006 7, 8 babies that are now 15, 14, 15 now.
2004 babies are 24.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm
Wait,
talking
no, they're
about,
older than that. Wait,
no, they're
correct me if we're
24.
wrong.
2004 babies are 24. So what I'm
No,
talking about is maybe 2008 girlies that are
yeah,
now 15, 14, 15.
I hate that. No, they're still in preschool. These are kids. These are children. They're not 18. They're not. No. I hate everything. But I agree with you though. It's like these like fucking like I would say Gen Alpha and like mid Gen Z. Because I say that because I'm like a Zennial. Roast me in the comments, I don't give a fuck. I was 97. I'll say
Okay.
this because like I will say this as well. It's like I visibly cannot relate to Gen Z. I more relate to millennial. But there's some things with millennial that I relate more than to Gen Z. Like
Right.
I get technology like a Gen Z, but bitch, you don't see me being so attached to it that I'm eating a fucking Tide Pod. I'll do the cinnamon challenge and the fucking ice bucket challenge, but you won't see me eating a fucking Tide Pod.
Remember the cinnamon challenge? That was on Vine, right?
Yeah, rest in peace, Vine.
Rest
I also visibly
Vine
remember
back.
I remember eating that shit. I remember dumping ice bucket on my head for what was that? That was for ESL, right? No, not ESL. ASL.
ASL.
ASL, not ESL. ESL is English speaking
ESL.
language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Or
like,
no, English secondary language. I'm a dumbass. Listen, I went to art school. To respect.
went to art school. I didn't go to English school. I went to art school.
I
That
went to
is
art school, yeah. No, it's like crazy. Like, and also bullying is so. Girls will just go on Twitter and bully people just for the fun of it. And they'll be like, oh my
yeah.
God, just kidding. I was just kidding. And it's like, no, you were mean. Take responsibility.
Yeah, I just don't understand and I think the crazy part is like I grew up in a time frame where like if you bullied somebody, you got punched in the mouth.
Literally.
And I feel like when that went away, there was more bullies. You know
Hit
what I mean?
people. Children out there, hit people.
Punch people in the mouth. That's
Like,
like,
honestly, you do have a point there because, like, before it was like, now everyone has a fucking, it's all anonymous profiles and you're behind a shield.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
girl,
Come
tell
say
that to
that
my
to my
fucking
face.
face.
Come say that to
Say
my
that to
face.
my fucking face.
Yeah.
Tell
And I
that
think
to my
that was the difference. I think like for me, I feel like online bullying, I don't really like care. Like, I'm like whatever. Where like having somebody walk up to you and call you a faggot to your face was rough. That was
Yeah.
rough. In the middle of a hallway full of people, and you're like, what do I do now?
Or my favorite thing was because I was on the dive team during high school, and there was this fucking little shithead, Alex. Straight up, I'll say it. Fuck you, Alex. Straight up, I hate you. Straight up, straight up. I don't fucking care. I don't give a fuck about you. Anyways, he literally was bullying me during dive practice, and then would also in like literally be like in the locker room, you can't change with us because you're gay. So go over there and the other cube, like go over there to the other blocks and go change over there. And I literally was
Yeah.
like, bitch, we're in dive. I literally have seen you get out of the pool in a fucking Speedo. You have nothing there. You're ugly and you have a 1-inch dick. I don't want to see anything. Girl, step off. But literally, it got to the point where I literally was crying in the hallway. This was my junior year. I was in the hallway when my friends was comforting me, and another team member, he actually went to the coach and was just like, "Hey, coach, Alex it was Alex straight up bullying Alex guitarist. It was just like straight up was bullying Alex so badly he's actually crying right now outside. And do you want to know what she said? Oh, he'll get over it.
Oh, teachers were just as bad.
Oh, it was awful. And so literally
Yeah.
I quit. I straight up quit. When I found, he told me, and I literally quit on the spot. Because afterwards he told me in the next practice, I said, hey, I'm actually gonna quit this team because of bullying and you wouldn't do anything about it. I quit. Goodbye. I left.
Yeah. So with the ups and downs of like our childhood and bullying and all of that madness,
Love it.
what advice would you give to somebody?
Don't try being somebody that you're not. During high school, I was trying to emulate like, Kurt from Glee. I can't go back to Glee. But like I would say don't try being somebody else. And I know that's hard. That's hard to wrap your head around because you're like, oh my God, I want to be like, I'm trying to find myself. So who am I going to find? But like, it's okay. I would say don't try being somebody else. Don't be try just being yourself. And if you have to find yourself, great. But like don't try just don't try being somebody else. Because that somebody else is already taken. Their personality's already been taken. So
Yeah.
like don't be somebody else, be yourself. Also don't be afraid to say no. Never be afraid to say no. It's okay. You can say no. If work is trying to get you through 30 billion different things that are like off your plate and you're too overwhelmed with work, you can say no and like, hey, like, can we talk about this? I need to help prioritize. I'd also say like definitely like ask for help, have a support system. You have friends for a reason. Don't use your friends as therapists, but like, because sometimes that can be a lot for your friends. I just have a whole list that just popped in my mind. But like, don't don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help because asking for help is a very strong thing to do. It is
Yeah.
a very good thing to do, and your friends are there because they're friends with you because they like you. Ask for help if needed.
Yeah.
It's always have a different perspective.
Yeah, something to add to that, what I will say as really good friend advice is your friends should be an addition to your life, not a hindrance. So if you find yourself like begging your friend to be your friend, whether that be attention, whether that be, doing things together, whatever that friendship is that you created. Because remember, your friends are going to have different levels of things that they will and will not do. I have some friends that are older than me that are not going to the club. They're just not doing it. But
Same.
they will go to a game night. They will go to a nice murder mystery dinner. They will go do some of these other things. So know the friendship that you have with that friend. But if you're fighting to like make a friendship, it's not a friendship.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to find something else to do because they're not there for you.
I would also say your friends should be your friends, but they should not be your entire identity and your entire life. That's why it's good to have groups of friends. Have one group, have another group, have your really close friends. It's okay to be friends with a lot of people, but don't let them be your entire personality because there's
Very
other things
true.
you can do. Like it's okay to have work friends that you kiki with. I love work friends, but like have other friends as well and just have like
Yeah.
live your life. Don't let people define your life. I don't know if that's describing anything, but like,
Yeah, no, I think it does. I think it very much, know who's a friend and who's an acquaintance.
girl, it's a whole different thing about a nice little spreadsheet. Okay, so
A
so
spreadsheet.
with that thing is have your separate friend groups. I will say this: have your separate friend groups. Have your best friends. Have your bar friends. Have your acquaintances. It's okay to have different friend groups. I would just suggest don't merge friend groups unless you really care about them. Then in that case, great. But also look at it that being like if you have that friend that you only see at the bar and that's all you want from them is you just have a friend at the bar and you just want to go like I don't know, go to viewing parties or like just like Kiki what's on the dance floor. Great, awesome, lit. You don't have to invite them to like your best friend's wedding.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think the difference is like know the type of friend you're willing to merge to other friend groups.
Yes.
Remember that everybody you meet is an acquaintance until you make them a friend.
Yes.
So,
Way
you
better way
know,
of phrasing it.
even using our relationship as a good example, me meeting Alex virtually in a Zoom drag queen watch party to,
Hosted by mutuals, so we both have known for
yeah,
longer than each other.
yeah, hosted by a mutual friend of ours. And then, from there, we've actually met in person. We've
A couple of
actually
times.
done a couple of like different events together. So, that's somebody that obviously between the two of us, we've put in the effort to move from acquaintances to actually being friends, right? We talk
Exactly.
outside of the group chat. We talk and we kiki about everything and other people.
We send
So,
each other memes.
we send each other stupid memes. So that's where, you have to know who you're willing to merge to different friend groups
Yes.
as you kind of move along. And sometimes you're going to make a bad choice, and that's okay. That's okay to like bring somebody and then realize like,
Was a bit shady. But that's when subgroup chats are made.
yeah, like don't bring the person that's left out of the next group chat. You know what I'm saying?
Need gays, but it's true.
It's true. The biggest example I can use for the listeners and for people that you're hanging out with, your acquaintance that doesn't know how to handle an open bar cannot go to every event.
Right there.
You don't want the person that you brought as a guest to be dancing on the coffee table butt naked, and that wasn't asked for.
Or did you don't want to bring them to an event that's hosted by a third party that has an open bar and you're bringing them as a guest? Say, for example, it's a networking event and they get too sloshed on the open bar. And then that looks badly on you. That looks
Yeah.
horrible on you. And you're the one that brought so and so. Get that. But like you bring Joe Schmo, who you're great at the bar with. Oh wait, they're a great time at the bar. We're doing shots, we're having fun, we're dancing out on that floor, we're vibing to the music, we are having fun. But then you see them outside of that setting. And I mean, it could go different ways. You can see them outside of the setting, they're a great person, you become friends. But that's how you grow that acquaintance into a friend.
Right.
It's also where you also look inside of yourself and be like, I really need a friend who their entire personality is getting drunk.
That's a whole different thing. Leading into a friend that their whole personality is getting drunk and you should probably get rid of them. The last question that I like to ask every single one of our guests is who in your life would you officially say girl bye because they no longer bring any value to your life?
So I'm gonna say that there's this one guy named Manny. I'm gonna say Girlbye. I'm just kidding. Love you. Love you. Girl hi. For me, my Girlbye, if you heard back in this episode of the Valentine's Day story, I would say Girlbye to an ex of mine who lives in Milwaukee. Yeah, Girlbye. That was a toxic ass relationship. And I will say it's a toxic ass relationship on both sides. I've grown from there, but also he was equally, if not more toxic. So, Girlbye. I moved on. That was fucking 4 years ago.
Period. And Girlbye to the guy in Milwaukee. Now, one other thing that I want to bring up and add to our podcast going forward is who in your life would you like to say girl hi to?
I would say, I know I touched upon it in this whole thing, but I would say girl hi to Vanna Vanity, my drag mom, one of my close friends. I love her. She's literally made my transition to living in Charlotte a wonderful thing. And without her, I would not be in the place that I am today. I love you, Vanna. Follow her on Instagram, DJ Vanna Vanity. Follow Vanity House on Instagram, which I run. So yeah, at Vanity House Inc. on Instagram. Yeah. And if you're in Charlotte, come to our shows because they're pretty awesome and pretty lit.
Yeah, I've definitely been to quite a few Vanity productions, and
Let's see me run around with a tip bucket.
the Vanity House puts on a show to remember. So yeah, Vanna Vanity, if you want to come, we have a seat for you here at the podcast. Thank you, Alex, for joining us today on Girlbye, the podcast that is going to continue to bring conversation to the forefront and open doors for people to tell their stories and really just talk about life and what it's like to be in the queer community. I want to thank everybody who has helped us get this far. This is episode 4 of the podcast. So we've been doing this for a month now, which is amazing to have everybody join us on their stories. Alex, anything you want to add before you go? You want to plug your social medias, anything?
Yeah, so follow the Vanity House, as I said before, the Vanity House Inc. Follow my account if you'd like to, Alexander Innes Designs. I think she's not public. It could be private. I don't know. But I do know one that's public is my drag Instagram. If you want to see okay drag, I would say I could perform. The makeup could be better, but it's growing. Anita underscore read more. That's right, you heard it. I need to read more because the bitch needs to read more. My Goodreads list is way too fucking long, so I need to read that Goodreads list. But feel free to follow that. Follow me on there. It was a great time to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I had a Kiki. We were having fun. We were tearing it up, and I'm very excited to hear this. Thank you again. And also, I'm really
Awesome.
proud of doing this. This is great and impactful. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And again, follow Anita Readmore, Anita underscore Readmore. Definitely join her on her journey of growth. I think that this is a great time to get to know a drag queen's journey. And help
It's
me
difficult.
encourage Alex by getting more followers to post more about his story and his journey on Instagram so that we
Read
can
me,
get to
bitch. I haven't
see
posted
more
in a
of
hot
it.
second. Oh my god, read me
She
more.
doesn't post anything, although she's a social media manager. So thank you again for joining us at Girlbye. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, y'all.